Kamila?
Yes.
Not Kamila. I'm so sorry. Sukaina, I meant.
Yes, the recording started.
Okay, thank you. So we're welcoming our Sukaina. Sukaina, oh my God, am I mixed up tonight? I think I'm getting senility very fast. We're welcoming our Kamila, who is I think, one of the best teachers. I've heard that she learned a lot from Fauzia, so that accounts for a lot of it. Um, and you yourself are a brilliant teacher. I remember taking a teacher class with you, and uh, the more I hear my ASW class, so I can't even speak. It's okay. ASW class. And um, she keeps opening her heart bigger and bigger so that she shows what teaching is. And she tries to make us all a teacher. So, with that and your heart, we introduce you.
Thank you, Samara. Salam alaikum, beloveds. Tonight we're going to be looking at, we're going to be talking about Laila, the deep love. We're going to begin by looking at the second station of the secret, because the second station of the secret stations in Music of the Soul is titled Laila, the Deep Love. And I believe it starts on page 82. um, so Laila comes to us in many different ways or different forms. So we have Laila, the deep secret love of Allah. It's also the second station of the secret, as I said. But Layla in Arabic also means night, which I think is partly why we refer to it as the deep secret love, because it's that time of deep night where the darkness is velvety, quiet, and nurturing. And Layla is also said to be the feminine aspect of Allah. So we're going to look at Layla in all of these aspects tonight, inshallah. So I'm going to start by reading from the second station of the secret, Layla, the deep secret love. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Tonight, I want to speak about the deep love. When anyone reaches beyond the station of al-fana, and here's Sidi speaking about the fana of the qualities. So he's speaking about what Ibrahim calls fana 21, the fana that you make of the qualities in order to enter the station of the secret. So Sidi's speaking about that fana, not fana fila. When anyone reaches beyond the station of al-fana and listens to what the secrets reveal, he arrives at the second station of the secret. As he listens, he begins to know the music of the soul. This is what she says. I have put a name inside you. This name is from the names of God. God carries many names, and this one is special. It is Layla, and Layla is the song of the soul. Layla carries a very deep meaning. I say to you, I live with Layla, but this Layla is me, not another. It is important to know Layla. If you open the heart of your soul, you will see the meaning of Layla. She returns me to the knowledge of the meaning of everything from the beginning. Yet there is no beginning in the world of love. She returns me to the knowledge of the meaning of everything. So this is a station where the meanings of things begin to open to you. We begin to understand the meanings when the light of Gnosis, the Maharifa, comes to us. And the Maharifa begins to arrive in the fifth station of the soul and begins to grow and grow as we move through the stations into the station of the secret. So in this station of the secret, Laila is returning you to the knowledge of the meaning of things. Because everything in Allah's creation first has a meaning. First, Allah chooses a meaning for what he intends to create and then creates iterations of it. So there's a meaning for the human being, for example. There's a meaning for each type of animal. There's a meaning for the minerals, the mountains, the soil, a meaning for the plants, a meaning for all the objects. So as the Gnostic knowledge begins to come in, we start to understand the Gnostic knowledge, of course, being knowledge that comes to you directly, not through books, but directly from Allah. That knowledge has begun when, by the time you reach the station, that knowledge has begun to come in. And Laila is beginning to show you the meanings of things. Another way of understanding the meanings is also understanding what Allah is making. When something happens, you begin to have Gnostic understanding of the meaning of what Allah is making. So this station is one where the meaning of everything is beginning to open for you. She gives me wine, and this is the wine of truth. She gives me the wine of the truth to drink, and I want to remain filled with this wine all the time. Drink the wine of Laila. She pours the wine of the truth. When she saw me in her garden, she brought me inside her soul. What does this mean? It means everything and nothing, because she is me and I am her. My nights are days when I am with Laila, because her night is the day. So nighttime is the time of Laila. As we said before, it's the darkest part of the night, or in Chinese medicine terms, it's the yin. The daytime is yang, full of movement. And then the night is this quiet, darkness, nourishing aspect, which is called the yin in Chinese medicine. So my nights are days when I'm with Laila, because her night is the day. And there is no night or day when I live with Laila, because time is but a minute, and my age when I live with Laila is only a moment. So if we look what Siddhi's saying here, my nights are days when I am with Laila, because her night is the day, and there is no night or day when I live with Laila, because time is but a minute, and my age when I live with Laila is only a moment. So what Siddhi's telling us, in this station, we're outside of time, and we're outside of time and space, really. It is important to know what I mean. Actually, let me elaborate on what I said. We're outside of time and space because when you enter the stations of the secret, you're beginning to witness the world of Lahut, the world of Allah, and there is no time or space in that world, because time and space only exist in creation. So we're stepping in these stations, we're stepping out of this creation, witnessing this creation. and beginning to witness the world of Allah and the light of the essence. So Sidi goes on to say, it's important to know what I mean. Laila is the name of God, but there are no names, only He. He carries all the names, and you can see His face and His soul. There are no differences in His message, if you know what I mean. Understand this subject because the deep love in Laila is very profound. My picture is the same picture as Laila because when I return al-Fana, there is no picture in the world of Laila. She said to me when I left and became subsistent in the Bakar, tell anyone about my secret, but if they cannot understand, do not speak. Then I gave the promise to not speak about the secrets to anyone but to the family of Allah who love Laila. So what Sidi's referring to here is that often there are things that are secrets between us and Allah. Often when Allah gives us a beautiful tajalli, if we're in remembrance or in a halwa, Allah will reveal a secret just for us. And sometimes that secret can be shared, but sometimes it's not to be shared. And when this happens, I recommend listening to your heart, because you'll find that in your heart, sometimes there's a reluctance to share that experience or that tajalli or that understanding. And in my experience, when I make a mistake and I do share something that was meant for me only, I always regret it afterwards. My heart feels regret. So when Allah opens something between you, often we want to share it because it's a beautiful experience and we're so excited and our hearts are so full of what Allah gave to us that we're bursting to share it with others. But then there are other times where it just feels private. And so that's what Sidi's saying. When he says, tell anyone about my secret, Allah's secret, but if they cannot understand, do not speak. Then I gave the promise to not speak about the secrets to anyone, but to the family of Allah who love Laila. So always ask Allah before you share one of these secrets. When you love, sometimes you do not see what Laila is, but sometimes you can see the face of Laila in everything. It is from the wisdom to know the face of Laila in the darkness and to know the face of Laila in the light. When you live in the reality, you see that there is no difference between the darkness and the light. He puts you between the two sides or two qualities, the beauty al-Jamal and the severity al-Jalal. If you live in the reality and do not make a difference between these two sides, then you are the son or the daughter of Laila. So we can't actually reach this station unless we have learned to make no difference between the Jamal and the Jalal. It's a natural human reaction to prefer the Jamal. And nafs definitely prefers the Jamal and doesn't particularly like the Jalal experiences. They can be very difficult for our nafs. But you can't reach completion without knowing Allah and accepting Allah and loving Allah through both the Jamal and the Jalal. You simply can't do it because Allah encompasses all of reality, which means Allah encompasses all of Allah's qualities, both the Jamal qualities and the Jalal qualities. So if you make a difference between the Jamal and the Jalal, you can't come to know Allah completely. So you can't reach completion. And the secret station, the stations of the secret and music of the soul, that's the first of the stations of completion. There are actually levels of completion, and station 4, the secret station, or the secret stations in music of the soul, which is station 4, and he who knows himself knows his Lord. You can't reach that station or those stations without, while still making a difference and having preferences between the Jamal and the Jalal. So you can't get here, because this is a station of completion, the first of them. You can't get here without knowing and accepting Allah through both. But you are also more than a son or daughter. You are a Laila. If you are Laila, what more do you want? Keep the secret inside you and know who is like you are. Give the secret to those who are like you, who carry what you carry. You are the holy secret. So I'm just going to pause here and see if there are any questions or comments about anything I've said so far. Does anyone have any questions? And you're welcome to interrupt me as I'm speaking as well, if I don't see your hand. Not seeing any hands raised. Okay, so let's continue. You can touch the secret in your hand, but change your hand and wash your hand. I want you to wash your hand with the water of the truth and to understand what I mean when I give you the secret. You cannot know if you do not die. God says you need to die and to be born again. Then you need to die again and to be born again to see me in my qualities. All the qualities are my qualities, and you are also my quality. So that's important, because what Sidi's saying here, first of all, is that we're making fana, which is what he means when he says die here. And that as we move from station to station, we fana one station, and then as we leave it, and then we move into the next station. So we're constantly opening and fanaing. We're living and dying in different stations. And when he also says, you are also my quality, he's referring to the fact that the only thing in creation are Allah's qualities and the actions of Allah. So in reality, that's all there is in creation, and that includes us. So we are simply manifestations of Allah's qualities and Allah's actions, as is everything that we see and experience and touch and smell. All of it falls into this definition. You are also my quality, because there is nothing else in creation. You are the door, and the key is in your hand. But know how to use the key to reach me. You cannot reach me if you are not the mercy, and if you are not polite, and if you do not give everything to me. Laila says, I died and then I woke up again. I go and I return again. I live in every number. I live in everything, but I return to be one. I want you to be like me, to be one. So let's just sit in this for a while. Let's just sit in the light of Laila. So drop into your heart, drop in as deeply as you can with La ilaha illallah, and feel this dying and waking up. Feel the going and the returning, the living in every number and then returning to be one. So going into the unity and then returning to the multiplicity, and then entering, returning to the unity, and coming back out into the multiplicity. Just drop into your heart and feel what that's like. Just let yourself feel the different states within you, because everything is moving within us. There is nothing stationary in our being. Every state is a movement, sometimes away from Allah and sometimes returning to Allah. So just let yourself drop into that darkness, that dark light that nourishes and holds and heals. Then let yourself step back into the light of day, where we bring what we have received during the night of darkness out into creation as we serve. Knowing that the light of Laila can contain everything that we bring. You just spend some time with Laila, moving in and out, coming and going, being one, and then being numbers, separate. Just let yourself taste that. coming and going, entering and leaving, dying and being born. Being in the unity and then separating again. Just let yourself feel all of your states as your being is constantly responding to the qualities of Allah. Sidi writes, in every moment we are under the two fingers of the all-powerful. Those two fingers are the Jamal qualities and the Jalal qualities. Feel the darkness of the night of Laila. It's a black velvety light. Very nurturing, quiet, still, sweet and loving. Accepting everything. Just as the earth accepts for us to stand on it. And then you drink from the light of Laila to quench your thirst, to fill your heart, so that you can come out again into the light of day, sharing with creation what you've received from Laila. Nora, are you there? I see a lot of names, but I don't know if there are people actually behind them because the videos are off. Are you there, Nora? Nora?
Nora?
If you're actually on the call, it would be helpful if you turned on your video so that I would know that you're here. Rahman Shirley, are you there?
Yes.
So, how was that for you, beloved? Share with us what it was like for you to drop in and be with Laila.
A comfort
Comfort?
and a security, a
Okay.
safety, and reassurance. Being held, and actually becoming more authentic in my gratitude for the dark and the light. But that's it's a yes, it's a comfort and a kind of freedom.
Alhamdulillah. Beautiful. Thank you. Halima R., how about you?
Assalamu alaikum, beloved. It's hard to come back from that. I just, I've, there were different aspects to it. When you talked about the unity and then the multiplicity, and so I felt like all the light gathering together, kind of like what we've been doing with the for the gathering. I've been doing opening the energy calls. I've been very blessed to be able to support that. And it's kind of like feeling all of the light together, kind of like the lighthouse. And then, Fauzia mentioned that, things have shifted a lot in the world and consider we're more like fireflies. So I was feeling the dichotomy between that, of all the light gathered together and then all the light spreads out into all these little, aspects. And then, the other part about, I just love Laila. I mean, I love to live in that unmanifested, dark cave place where anything is possible by Allah, so that's one of my happy places. So, the difference between, being in that dark, velvety blackness and then coming into the light of day was also very very different.
Thank you.
And I think each time you felt a little bit more fortified, when you went back, because you had us going back and forth and back and forth. And each time I could feel a little bit more strength coming in, inshallah.
And as you practice it, because we're doing this all the time without realizing it, right? Our state is constantly changing because we are under the influence of the divine names and the actions of Allah. So everything that we experience, even our emotions, everything that happens to us is actually as the result of a divine name acting upon us. And that's true of everything in creation, actually. That creation, CD tells us this pretty clearly in Music of the Soul, although it's easy. I missed it for years. He says, I placed my qualities in the ground of creation. That's what creation is. It's the qualities of Allah and the actions of Allah. So all of creation is Allah's light acting and Allah's will being manifest. So everything that we experience is coming from that. So our hearts are constantly turning under the influence of divine names. So, but as we practice going in and out the way we were just then, as you kind of expressed, Halima, it gets easier to go in and to come out and to go in and to come out, because every time that we make those steps inward and those steps outward, we're building a road. It's a little bit like creating a track in a forest, right? The more you walk along that track, the clearer that track becomes, and the more quickly you can walk along it. So after a while, you can go in and out in a second, in an instant. And so you become less afraid, actually, or less reluctant to come out when you know that you can be back there, instantaneously anytime that you want to. So, Laila, Madge, how about you? Why don't you speak to us about Laila? Are you there, beloved?
I'm asking her to unmute, but I don't know if it's working.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did too. No answer.
Yeah, I saw it flicker. It seemed like it went on and then off again immediately.
No, it's
yeah.
off.
Am I
Alhamdulillah.
unmuted now?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it very interesting. There's a lot going on in the outer right now that's very, very challenging. And so when I went into the darkness, it was just so comforting, and words escape me that I just really wanted to stay there. And so I confess I did spend a lot of time there.
That's okay. You're allowed, Laila. That's your natural home, right? Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Abdul Rashid, you're always good at giving a description of your experience. Why don't you share with us what it was like? I know you're a great lover of Laila.
Oh my gosh, yes. Layla came to me this morning as I was waking, and I've told those who would listen that when my son died, in order not to be alone, I had to realize that where I was, the room, the floor, everything, the covers, the bed, were expressions of Allah. This is long before I used the word Allah, and I wasn't alone anymore. And I was able to go into the world and endure the terrible loss of my son. Well, I woke up this morning because Layla is the emptiness to me. Layla is the darkness, the beautiful darkness from which everything is born. That's what it's been to me for a long time, 10 years, maybe 15. It's the feminine, the infinite feminine. And she, of course, is inside. She is my heart beating. She is the darkness that out of which everything comes every moment of every day, all the time. When I realized that this is nothing but Allah, this is Allah, and it's nothing because it's Layla. Then I looked to the ceiling today and I realized she loves me. The ceiling loves me. The floor loves me. The bed loves me. The air that I'm breathing is the air of Layla. It is. I cried. I couldn't help it. I cried. And I'm being a little dramatic, I suppose, but it's really how it feels. It's very dramatic. It's because feeling like this is Allah was causing me to feel a little nauseous and uncomfortable. I was really in the Jalal. And when she came, it's all fine. It's fine because I'm living in love. I'm living in a constant flow of love going, well, Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes showing up comfortably and sometimes showing up uncomfortably, that love, right? And we need
Precisely.
to be able to accept it all. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
to
it
love
is
it all.
it is all. It is that. It's asking. It's really asking in the most beloved, the most delightful ways. It's asking, here, I'm here. This is what we are. And that's a you can't walk away from that.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, alhamdulillah, thank you. So let's go on. CD writes, be Layla in everything, in every face. She says, oh, my son and daughter, and more than son and daughter, you are myself. You are my soul and you are my heart. Listen to what I say if you can. Give me what I want. I want you to be a slave who is special for me. I want you to leave everything outside and to know that there is no outside. There is only me outside and inside. Where is the inside and outside if I live in every face and in everything? All these faces are my face, but know what I mean. Come to me quickly. Do not lose the time. Time is like a jewel. If you lose the jewel, how can you find it after it is gone? Laila says, I am the truth like you, and you are the truth like me, after you wash and pray for me all the time. Do not miss any prayer, and remember me all the time. I put you in my eye. You see me in your eye, and you hear me in your ear. Know that your body is my body. You do not have anything. Everything is mine, but I give you the key. Keep what I give you, clean it, and do not lose anything I give you. You cannot see me if you do not carry my eye. I put my eye in your heart because your heart is my eye. Now, this is more literal than we think. Sounds very metaphorical. Your heart is my eye, but in fact, CD tells us that in the very deepest place within our heart is the divine perception. And there's also, of course, that drop of essence, which is the divine perception. That's Allah's essence, which is observing through us. And in fact, the word for the human being comes from the same root in Arabic as the word for the pupil of the eye. So Allah is literally experiencing, witnessing all of creation, all of our states and emotions and physical experiences through the eye of our heart. Because he says, I put my eye in your heart because your heart is my eye. Many people want to know, but do not have the chance. This is your chance to see me, to know me, and to love me. And there is nothing you can reach without love. I'm just thinking about what CD wrote somewhere in a book somewhere, or else it was in one of his teachings. He said, it's important to learn to love. You can't love Allah until you know how to love. So he said, if there's nothing that you love, go away and love a donkey, whatever it is, but learn to love and then come back. So I have told you to love and love and love, and to not lose any meaning from the love. This is what I want to say to any student who wants to know the meaning of Laila. This is the secret. No mind can contain the secret if Laila does not help. Not only on the earth, but in the heavens, the angels do not know the deep meaning if Laila does not help them. So that dark night of Laila is also the light of Gnosis. That's why Sidi's saying Laila helps you to know the meanings. That Laila teaches us the meanings of everything, and that's why it's described as the darkness of the light of Laila, because the Gnostic light is black. It's the same light in a sense. Not only on the earth, but in the heavens, the angels do not know the deep meaning if Laila does not help them. Know what I mean about this name. This name is the name of God. There are no names in the world of Laila, only his name. This is what I say. Remember Allah. So any questions, comments about this station before we move to actually tasting the light of Laila through Sidi's poetry? Anything anyone wants to share or ask? Samara?
Okay, thank you. I just noticed the more time that goes on that I have listened to this and studied this, and the less I know. I feel like a total, I don't know, it's empty. It's sort of like being blank.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it's supposed to be, or there's no supposed to be?
Are you speaking about this particular teaching or in general about understanding creation and Allah?
Yeah, under both actually. But
Both.
yeah.
So you're becoming wiser and wiser, Samara, because what did Abu Bakr said? He said that the true wisdom is knowing that you do not know, right? Because we're trying to describe and understand something that's unknowable by human beings. It's the ineffable, right? Allah did not put all of the knowledge into creation. So we can only know the part of the knowledge that Allah gave us. And because we have CD always taught, and in fact, even in the Quran, there's a lot of metaphorical teaching, right? Where things are described in terms of things that we recognize in this world. You know, CD uses metaphors because a lot of what we're talking about are things that we can't conceive of because we've not experienced them. And our imagination has nothing to hold on to. We can't imagine these things because they're completely beyond our imagination. And so we use metaphors to teach. And truly, the whole of cosmology in Sufism is it's a form of it's a what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's metaphorical description, and it's a description, a model is what I'm trying to say. It's actually a model of creation, so that our minds can feel as though we understand it, and our minds can rest a little bit, and that we can feel as though we know what's going on when actually we don't. And so you're starting to experience that. The further that you get along the path, the more you realize you don't really know anything. So
Hey, thank you.
that's why I always say, when I'm teaching in ASW and I'm talking about these things, I always say I could be wrong, and this is how I understand it, because these are models that I'm creating my own understanding in, for me, that makes sense to me. And I share that, but I'm not claiming that it's correct. And each of you can have your own understandings of things and be equally correct. So, or incorrect is mine. Yeah. Anyone else? I'm not seeing any hands. Okay, we're going to shift gears now. We're going to move to Sidi's writing on Laila Tokada, The Night of Power, and then his poetry about Laila. Begins on page 184. But I recommend that you actually don't read it, that you just drop into your heart, as we did during that teaching in the station, and just let the words come into your heart as you drop into Laila, and just let your heart experience the words, not your mind, and just feel it. Just feel the transmission of Laila. So this first section is relatively short. It's called Laylat al-Qadr, the Night of Power. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Every person here is the truth in God. Like a garden of grapes, she is the field, the grapes themselves. The man who works in the field, and the wine of purity. She is the song, the singer, the note, and the love which is given without asking for anything in return, or without holding anything in reserve. She is the picture and the thing pictured, and the seer inside and outside. This picture makes me flow up. She is the truth and the seeking for truth, and the knowing of the truth. You are the person who bears the secret names of God. All of the secrets of the names have been put in you. When you realize who you are, you will be the Quran. You will be the word of God, and the people will come to read you. They will look to you with holiness, because you are the speech of him which is ordered. All the kings will prostrate themselves before you, before that which is given to you, that which is hidden within you, that which you rent. You are the fuqara, the poor folk, the image of praying, the revelation and also the receiver of revelation. You are the quietness to give from him to him. You are the poor, the picture of him. This is your situation when you are fired with love. When you sleep so deeply, she is the waking of love. You think you sleep, but you are awake always, turning, turning, turning around the throne of the Most High. Layla's play is the dance of the deep secret knowing of the Mohammedan soul. The wine, the cup, the drinking, the drunkenness, the great war, the victory, the wedding feast. Laila, on the night of Laylat al-Qadr, the night of power. And then comes a chapter just simply titled Laila. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am the cup, I am the wine, I am the ocean. When you realize that the holy war is holy peace, you can hear Laila singing, and you can see her dance with you, the dance of deep, secret knowing, if you know where to find her and how to enter and how to ascend in her holy sky. Laila is the guide on the night of power. If you want to make wine, this wine is not ripe unless it is aged. The oldest wine is the most ripe. Clean your cup, your body, heart, and soul before you want to drink from my water and drink the wine from my mouth, because my mouth and heart and all my being are full of the love of Laila. I want to keep this love inside of me, especially for her and not for another. I cover myself with veils because if anyone saw me, he would begin to speak without understanding about me and Laila. But she refuses and removes all my veils as she takes the veils from her eyes to see my face, herself, not to show me to another. How can I keep my love for Laila when she reveals her eye within my eye? Now that she has stripped my clothes and left me naked, she insists that I be seen by no eye but her eye. She makes with me what she wants. What can I do? I cannot. Then I look to see the person who sits near me. He does not understand. I say to him, my friend, come into my shop to drink from my cup, the wine of the deep secret love of Laila. Perhaps you think that one cup will be enough for you, but once you taste, you will taste the deep secret love of Laila in every cup. And the love of Laila has no end. My friend, if you want to come in, leave everything, if you can, to drink. Be like Ibrahim, break the idols to drink from Laila. Leave your mind outside if you want to understand what I mean, and fall down into the garden of Laila. She is so sensitive that no one can touch Laila with his mind. This garden is the shop where Laila gives wine to everyone who wants to love her. If you keep your mind in your head, you will find no rest. So leave it outside the door. Come into my shop and sleep, like someone who has walked many miles and is very tired and needs to rest. First eat, then drink, and then sleep in the shop of Laila. This is the real life for you once you have died. You find in her shop the purity and beauty of God. Come into me to see her, to know her, to touch Laila. but clean your mirror of any love you knew before. Why do you look to the right or to the left, and still you do not see the essence of Laila in everything? If you do not follow me, if you do not understand the way of Laila, you are like the animals eating grass. But if you are a human being, you are less than an animal if you do not know the deep wisdom of Laila. Then I say to him, my friend, come in quickly. When Laila is so near you, within you, her fire burning, why not use the light to see who is within? Come into my shop and sleep between my arms, the sleep of knowing. I want you to wake up when you sleep between my arms. There is no sleeping when you see the face of Laila. She fills the world, and yet all the world is but a scent from her fragrance. She says, I go and I return. I live in all the numbers. I live in everything, but I return to be one. I want you to be like me, to be one, to be Laila, in everything, in every moment, in every face. Oh, my son, you are myself, my heart, my soul, my secret. Listen to what I say if you can. Give me what I want. Give me all that you have, so I can give you all that I have. Be consumed to eat me. If you do not eat me, you cannot know me. Don't leave anything in the cup. Break all the glasses in your shop and drink from my mouth alone. Leave everything outside and know there is no outside, only me. Where is the inside and where is the outside when I am the life in every face, in everything? All the faces are my face, but know what I mean. Come to me quickly. Do not lose the time. These moments are jewels. If you lose these jewels, how can you find them after they are gone? If you want me, come to me, but only after you wash and pray for me in all your time. Wash your eyes in the water of truth, and then see me as I truly am, beloved. The eyes with which you see me are the eyes with which I see you. I stand in the doorway of your glance to look through the window of your soul, to enter into the room of my deepest essence. Help me to make this passage completely. Now I see only space and hear only your call to enter, to return. Inspire me, beloved, to fly in the wings of your breath. I give you my milk inside your mouth. Drink from this milk, and after you drink from your mouth, you begin to speak my truth, the song of Laila. I put you in my eye. You see me in your eye, and you hear me in your ear. Know that your body is my body. When I touch you, what do I mean? I want to break all the doors, all the windows, all the walls. Nothing can contain Laila. Keep what I give you and clean it. Do not lose anything I give you, because I give you only myself. You could not see me if you did not carry my eye. When I put my eye in your heart, see that your heart is my eye. Be my beloved. Be my beloved. Leave everything to know me. When you hold all the clothes from my body, you do not see only he, only one. Be the one. Then write about the bride on the holy night with the essence of her holy husband. How is the bride on her wedding night? This is the night of Laylat al-Qadr, when you are Layla. I put all the meanings in this. I give all the help. I break all the glasses and let the wine seep into your holy earth. If you do not do as I say and let the wine sink in, your earth will not give life to the rose. The rose is the knowing of truth. The night of power has not ended. Layla has not died because she does not know death. Is she presence or more? If you say night, she is more than night. If you say presence, she is more than presence. She is more than day. She is more than secret. No one can drink but from her cup. Layla is the essence of truth. You can see her in everything. Who brought you here? Layla. For whom? Layla. The deep politeness is from Layla to Layla. There are very few people who know her besides your father. The deep secret is from Layla to Layla. If you want to know, put your head under her foot. Why her? She is he, his life, his truth, the revealing of the treasure of his essence. Layla's play is the dance of the deep secret knowing, the ocean of Rahmatullah made manifest, the movement of his breath across the water, the fire behind, the life behind, Al-Khamra, the wine of pre-eternity, the wisdom that was before creation, the deep secret essence which preceded the formation of things of this created world, the first word. Layla is the full moon in an empty cup and the source of all the lights and all the shadows. She is the mistress of veils, day and night. Life and death are all the bridal veils, which hide her sacred reality from all but her beloved. He is she, and the essence of the creation is united inseparably with the whole play of creation, which emanates from Layla. La ilaha illallah. Behind all the gross and subtle veils of the dance of Layla, there is no reality but the reality of Allah. As Allah has no partners, Layla is Allah. completely immersed in the holy marriage, but appearing in the guise of creation, because it is only through guises, through veils, that Allah can manifest until the day of judgment. The moment of judgment when creation is ordained to meet its creator face to face, without the mediation of veils. In the meantime, the veil of Laila is the net of Allah, in which he catches his fish to return them to the great sea. And if you find yourself swimming in the folds of Laila's dress, know that there is nothing within her coat but her beloved Allah. Why does she make this play? She makes what she makes to know her. How could you know her if she did not make these things to reveal herself through? But this is deep praying. When you make your sajda, you put your head under her foot to drink from her milk. Then you rise up with her strength to say, "Thank you, beloved, because you give me the real life." Then you go down again to drink from her wine, to absent yourself from everything but this life. And then she moves you to stand, to recite the Fatiha in the language of love. She opens a door for you to go through to the inside meaning of the praying. If anyone understood what I mean, he would pray and pray and pray without stopping, to drink the essence of her secret, to be her, to be Allah. Then he would not care about anything. If she puts him in the fire, if she kills him, it is only to make him her slave. Give her what she wants. She wants you. All that you have is from her. To return to her, this is the last veil. So keep dropping into your heart, beloveds. Let yourself bow, let your heart make sajda to Laila. Put your head under her foot. And then feel her strength pouring into you to give you the strength to stand up and go on. See, these words here remind me of when I was circumambulating the Kaaba when I made Hajj, because every time I came around the corner with the black stone, you put your hand up to salute the stone. And each time that I did that, I could feel the light of the black stone. And it felt to me as though each time I did that, it gave me the strength for another tawaf, for another circumambulation as I walked around the Kaaba. So this is what Sidi's saying. You bow to Laila, and she gives you the strength to stand up and to pray. to turn to Allah, to keep going. Sophia, are you there? Sophia?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Wow, nice teachings. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
How does the light of Layla feel to you, beloved? What did you experience with that?
Mashallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. So, for me, it's the light, it's the darkness, it's the love, it's the air, it's the sky. And I go everywhere and I found him and I love him so much. And my heart feel the gratitude to find him. And I love and I love and I love.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Mahaba, Claire, what about you?
Well, I'm not sure I can talk. You know, people who have had near death experiences often describe arriving in this deep, velvety place of unconditional love. And I think with this exquisite poem and with Layla, it's beyond words. I'm in a pre-verbal state. These words mean nothing. I'm just in a pre-verbal state, traveling, feeling the love, drinking the love. And all what I was doing was chanting La ilaha illallah, just very quietly for parts of it. And that's what it meant to me. La ilaha illallah. And that we have, see, these words are exquisite. You know, to try to explain, I mean, for me, it's pre-verbal. The experience of the velvety, I felt the velvety darkness on the side of my heart, and it was just beyond words. La ilaha illallah.
Thank you. It's interesting, as I was reading it, I noticed that a lot of Sidi had expressed in poetry a lot of the same teachings that he'd put in that station, in the second station of The Secret. There were many of the same phrases there, but one was in a teaching mode and the other was in a poetic mode. So they felt different, but I could see where he had put them in both. Any questions, comments, anything anyone would like to share? Just raise your hand if you would. Sakina?
Assalamu alaikum. I notice that I'm also experiencing something else inside of myself that's a little bit different than what I hear other beloveds expressing, which is just being able to sit in the light of this teaching for a while. I also find myself with, I think, a really strong experience of grief about the frailty of my humanity, about the beauty of resting in the one. And when we were going back and forth, and the difficulty, I don't know, I don't have the words for it, but when I feel the separation, even in my body and in my experience, it's like, oh my goodness, why? I mean, I think about when CD said, you can reach in a moment if you give everything. And I start to question myself about whatever it is that the pull that Allah, I think, has placed, at least in my experience, to make me have to, to put me in a position of deliberately choosing him instead of just being able to take a sip of the love and let it all go, and then have to choose him moment by moment. And so I guess I don't really know what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I feel bowed, humble, that Allah has chosen us to witness this and placed it in us and entrusted us by the Laila and with the Laila and just the frailty of humanity. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but
No, you're making sense. I think that is the trust that Allah gave to the human being, that choice. And I think the grief that you're feeling is the weight of that trust, that that we do have to choose over and over and over again. And remember that he offered the trust to the angels, to the mountains. No, it was only the human being who accepted that trust. And that difference is, for example, between us and the angels, is that we human beings, he put inside of us all the names. We know all the names. And that's part of that trust because the names are both Jamal and the Jalal. So the human being actually was most honored by Allah by being given all of the divine names within and knowing them, but also given this burden of free will. And it was a trust that Allah gave because Allah, in order to know Allah completely, needs to see the Jamal and the Jalal both manifest. And so the angels, the human being has the capacity to rise higher than the angels because the angels don't know the Jalal divine names because they don't have free will. They don't get to choose. That's why Iblis had to be a jinn in order to refuse Allah's command to bow to the human being, because the angels questioned Allah why, but they were not capable of disobeying. And so this is the human, and Allah created us this way with capacity for the utmost good, capacity for the utmost evil, because we carry all of the names, we know all the names. Then he gave us choice and he made us fallible. So this is Allah's creation deliberately. So some of that grief may be compassion for just for humanity, because it's not easy being a human being. We get to experience it all, the pain, the joy, all of it. But there is a blessing for us. Allah's given us this life for the maturation of our souls. So Allah created us perfect, but then put us in a place that would corrupt us and set us on a moral journey of choice and choosing what it is that we choose to put into the world. And it's a journey of difficulty as well as ease. But our souls can progress so much faster in a body because we have all these physical experiences of this world. So it's actually a gift from Allah because Allah loves us and wants to bring us closer. So while we can at times feel quite ungrateful for our life when we're in the suffering, it's actually a blessing from Allah, all of it, because our souls are maturing, purifying and beautifying and able to come much closer to Allah much sooner, much more quickly. So whenever someone asks Allah from a place of proximity to Allah, why did you put me here? It's always because I love you and I want to bring you close. It's pretty much basically the answer that always comes. So
I don't doubt that, and I appreciate the beauty, and I'm feeling the grief. I don't feel I'm not saying that I regret the hardship. I think that's the polishing stone. But but anyway, I just that I just thought I would just share that I'm
it's beautiful.
feeling a lot of the sorrow of, I think it's sort of like the station of regret in the Tauba process. Anyway,
there's a beautiful poem by Khalil Gibran on the topic of joy and sorrow. And part of what he says in there, which always touches my heart also, is that there's a couple of lines there where he says that if you look deeply, the joy that you're feeling comes because of the pain that you've suffered. He talks about the comes from the carving of the flute, the note comes from the carving of the flute. And he says he said, if you look at pain, you will see that it's always that which has given you joy that is now giving you pain. and vice versa. That your joy comes from that which gave you pain, and that the two are inseparably linked. So that grief, I think, is a part of being human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you for the teaching.
No, you're very welcome. All right, beloveds, if there are no more questions or comments or sharing, then I will say salam alaikum. It's been a pleasure to be with you all. Thank you for coming and for your time, and for bringing your beautiful hearts. Salam alaikum, everyone.
Salam
You have to
alaikum.
go.
That's it. That's all night.
Oh, thank you. Alhamdulillah.
Salam alaikum, everyone.
Thank you so much. Okay. Au revoir. A bientôt.
Bonsoir.
Have a good weekend. Have a good tomorrow.